Hey guys, welcome back. Today's video is going to be a really interesting one, okay? Because we're going to be looking at position size. Um, in my years of trading, I've actually seen a lot of traders, especially newbies, make this mistake. Even I myself, when venturing into trading, when I actually started trading, actually made the same mistake of thinking my position size is the same thing as my risk per trade. Okay, just like in the last video, we actually discussed how to calculate our risk per trade. Just like I made an example with trading with a $4,000 account on our derivatives account, and then we're risking just 2%, which is the same thing as $80. So does that mean that if we want to enter into a trade, our position size is going to be $80? No. A lot of us have actually are fond of making that mistake. So in today's video, we're going to discuss how to measure our position size. So let's just check it out, okay? So as you can see here, we have position size. Your position size will depend on where your invalidation level is. So you reiterate, let's say you have a $4,000 account and you choose to risk just 2%, which is the same thing as risking $80. If you risk $80 and your invalidation is 3% below your entry, then your position size is 2066. I mean, how come? Okay, but let's just check it out on a chart. For example, this was an Ethereum USD trade I actually took. Okay, I already know where my entry point is, which is somewhere at around 1,151, and I knew that my invalidation is 1,116, meaning that once the trade starts going against me, the trade is going to close at around 1,117, and then I will have lost just $80. But if the trade is actually going in my favor and it gets to 1,277, then I will have made profits. I actually took this trade and the trade was at around 3.6. As you can see here, we actually have 3.6 meaning that if I and when I won the trade, I actually made 3.5 times the amount I risked. So as you can see here, my invalidation here is 3% for my entry. My entry was here, and then my invalidation here is 3%. As you can see, while I'm moving this, my invalidation percentage is actually increasing and decreasing. If I move it to the down, as you can see, the invalidation here is 5%. If I move it to the top here, as you can see, 1.69%. But my invalidation here was at around 3%. Okay, after my calculations, I decided to put my invalidation somewhere around this level, which actually corresponded with 3%. That is what they mean by your invalidation being the percentage from your entry point. Just like I said earlier, if you're risking 80% and your invalidation is 3% below your entry, now you understand what I mean by my invalidation being 3% below my entry. Okay, you know where my entry is, and then the invalidation below, which is 3%. Then my position size is 2,666.67. That is what we are trying to get. How is our position size 2,666.7? Meaning that if I'm about to enter a trade and then I decided to put in 2,666.67, how is it possible that once the trade doesn't go my way, I'm still losing just $80? Okay, which is just 2% of my risk capital. So instead of me losing about 70 to 80% of my account, because if I'm actually using 2,666, okay, and the trade is actually going against me, I'm supposed to be losing about 70% of my account or 80% of my account, but I'm losing just 2%. So we're going to calculate how to get that. As you can see here, to calculate your position size, we have this little formula here, which is PS equals to R divided by D. PS meaning our position size, and then R meaning our risk per capital, since we're risking 2%, so that is the R. Then D is the same thing as distance or percentage to stop loss. We already know that our percentage to stop loss is 3%, and we know that we can move it below and we can move it to the top. The more we move it, the more the percentage per risk increases or decreases. So then what is our position size? Our position size is R divided by D. We already know that our R, which is our risk, is $80, since we're risking 2% of our account, okay, which is $80 of a $4,000 account. We have a $4,000 account as our main capital, and then we're risking just 2%, which is the same thing as $80. Okay, 2% of $4,000 is $80. Okay, then divided by 3%. We already know that 3% is the same thing as 0.3. So in order to get our position size, all we need to do is 80 divided by 0.3 from our formula, which will give us 2066.7. We can also say 80 divided by 3, then times 100. We already know that the 100 is same thing as our percentage. Okay, so if you're using your calculator just to quickly get the amount, all you need to do is 80 divided by 3, which is our percentage, then times 100. The times 100 is the same thing as percentage. Okay, that is the easiest way I actually do mine. So if you're having 10 here, 10 divided by, let's say our percentage is 4, then times 100. Okay, then I'm going to get my position size. It's the same thing. So that is the way to get our position size. As you can see, it is not difficult at all. So a lot of people just misunderstand risk per capita and position size. And mind you, it only works on just futures trading alone. Okay. I also want you to note something very, very important. One should only enter a trade if you have a clear entry point, stop loss, and take profit. You already know what that means, okay? If you don't have a, just like the trade I took here, if I don't have an entry, I won't enter the trade. I already know that my entry here was at about 1,152, and then my stop loss was somewhere at about 1,116 Ethereum, and then my take profit was somewhere at about 1,278. If you don't have these three things, you should never enter a trade. Okay, you have to make sure that you're entering a trade based on a specific data that you're sure of. That is one of the best ways to keep your emotions out of the trade. Okay, that is one. Risk management. Remember, I actually talked about risk management on the other video. How risk management affects your emotion when trading, and that you should make sure that you're risking only what you can afford to lose in any trade. Okay, and the second thing that will also affect your emotion is entering a trade when you don't have these three things in check. So you have to make sure that you have your entry point in check, your invalidation in check, and then your take profit in check. So we're also going to move into leverage. How does the leverage work with our position size? Take for instance, we already know that our position size here is 2066.67. Okay, and then you're using a 10x leverage. All you need to do in order to get the margin is to divide your position size times 10. Okay, so if you're dividing your position size times 10, you're going to get your 266.67 as your margin. It still means that we're still trading with 2066.67 as our position size. So I'm going to show you where our position size is going to be in on our Bybit trading app. So this is the Bybit trading app. All you need to do here is, let's say you're entering, you already know what your position size is. All you need to do is input the position size here in our order value at 2066.7. Then activate your take profit and your stop loss. Yeah, you already know where our take profit is, and then our invalidation, which is below our entry point, somewhere at around I think 1,117 or thereabouts, which I actually showed you from the chart. So this is all an example I'm actually using to explain to you why it's very, very important to know where your entry point is, your invalidation, and then your take profit, because it's very, very important so that you don't enter into a trade and then you don't have your stop loss in, you don't have your take profit, okay, and then you don't even know when to take profits, and then when you start a trade starts going against you, you're just there hoping that the trade will reverse one day. What if the trade doesn't reverse and it keeps going down, and then you just keep on losing money until you get liquidated? Don't forget that this is derivative of the futures market, and then you're already using leverage, so you might get liquidated once the price gets to a point. So it's very, very important that you know where your exit is. Make sure that you know where your exit is, because if you're not putting stop loss, hoping that, oh, okay, yes, you manage the trade yourself, that is just you playing a very dangerous game, because we already know how the human emotions work, and then all we are trying to do here is just to manage our emotions so that it doesn't interfere with our trading. So if there's a particular part of the video you don't understand, I would advise you to watch the video again, and make sure you focus while watching it, because it's very important to focus. And above all, make sure you practice, because that's the only way. That is like the only way you're going to start perfecting it and getting it fully. Because if you're not practicing and if you're not trading, there's no how you're going to understand it on the long run. So it's very important that you try your best to practice. So I'll be entertaining any question in the comment section. If you have any question, don't forget to just leave it below the comment section. Then I'll gladly reply. Then I'll see you in the next one.